In our lesson today, Crystal and I are teaching first graders, and we are modeling components of disciplinary literacy, where we're using the components of the gradual release model and also lots of teacher modeling. Reading, writing, math, and speaking and listening standards are addressed as students read and write number sentences, and they share their understandings with partners.
See you later. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Math Stories Theater. You're going to have a chance to come up and act out some of these stories with me. So I need you to close your eyes, and when I tap you on the shoulder, you're going to quietly come up to the front of the room. Okay, everybody open your eyes. How many students do we have standing in the front of the room? 4. There are 4 students standing in the front of the room. Very good. 4 students were at a dance party, and after a while, they had a friend, Danielle, come to the dance party and join them. How many students are standing in the front of the room now? 5 students. So how many students did we start with? 4. And how many students did we add? 1. How many students does that make all together? 5. So all together we have 5 students. Whisper to the person standing next to you what number sentence we could make if we had 4 students at the beginning and 1 person joins them. Okay, say it with me.
4 plus 1 equals 5.
Very good. And these numbers tell us, what does the 4 tell us?
We have
How many were at the party?
How many are at the party? And the 1 tells us
one more came.
how many came. And all together we had
5 people.
Very good. Can you say that number sentence starting with 5 equals?
5 equals 4 plus 1.
It doesn't matter where we put the equals 5, but it still means the same thing. 4 plus 1 always equals 5.
Okay, girls, we're going to make some math drawings right now, so go ahead and get your whiteboard materials out. And what I want you to do is listen as I tell a story, and you're going to be drawing a picture that goes with this story. So we have a big, giant leaf. Go ahead and draw that. And there were 4 inchworms sitting on that leaf. Okay. 3 more inchworms came to join those 4. Now, I want you to ask yourselves, does your picture show the 2 parts of the story? We began with 4 worms, and 3 more came. Does your picture show that? Those 2 parts of the story. Go ahead and shoulder share with a partner how your picture shows that story. Go ahead and write a number sentence that goes with your story. So you'll have the 2 parts of the story that we talked about, and then you'll have your total. And share that with your partner. Patty, please share your number sentence.
4 plus 3 equals 7.
Give me a thumbs up if that's what your number sentence was. We started off with 4. I'm going to circle the 4. Notice how I drew them together. The 3 that came and joined us, I drew those 3 together. 4 plus 3 equals 7. Nicely done, ladies.
I'm going to show you how you can use disciplinary literacy in PD. In the clip you're about to see, students will review what they learned in class by using speaking and listening skills. And I'm also going to do a quick informative assessment at the end to check for knowledge. While we're lined up, just a quick review. Today we did soccer skills, we did passing and shooting for soccer. And just to review, we place the ball on the ground and we step with our left or our right foot on either side of the. And for our pass, I'm going to hit the ball with the inside of my foot and follow through. Shooting, I'm going to step next to the ball, kick the ball with the laces of my shoe. So that's shooting. Now, thinking in terms of comparing and contrasting, like if you read a story, maybe in your classroom, your teacher says compare and contrast the characters. So when you compare, you're looking at things that are similar. When you contrast, you're looking at things that are different in the characters. Talk to your neighbor real quickly while we're waiting for your teacher. Compare and contrast shooting and passing. So, what things are similar about shooting and passing, and what things are different?
You're kicking it, yeah, you're kicking it both times. Where you kick on your foot.
That would be different.
Yeah, but I don't have shoelaces.
I don't either.
But I think she means right here,
Yeah.
or right here.
Uh-huh.
So where do you kick with your foot?
Would be different.
Okay, class, does anybody have an example of what were similar when you compared and contrast shooting and passing?
You have one.
What did you have?
Well, I said that both times we're kicking the ball.
Okay, great. So, okay, and then did you have any differences when you're,
She did.
Well, I said where on your foot you kick it.
is different because when you shoot, you use what part of your foot?
Shoot was the laces.
Okay, and when you pass, you use
The inside.
Awesome job, class. Your teacher's here. We're ready to go.
In today's lesson, I'll be working with third grade students to further our learning of the Pilgrims, focusing on the Plymouth Colony. It's a close reading strategy with text-dependent questions, utilizing reading, speaking, and listening skills. You will see a lot of higher order thinking skills also in this lesson. All right, girls. Today we're going to do a close reading of an article about the Plymouth Colony that's on that website that I've had you pull up on your computers. So what I want you to do first is to read the first paragraph to yourself. Plymouth Colony was the first settlement in New England. I want you to share with your elbow partner, what do you think a colony is?
I see the word city here.
Okay, so people live there. It's a place where people live. Are there words in the paragraph? Danielle, I heard you say city. Are there any other words in that paragraph that might help you know the meaning of the word colony?
I see the word settlement.
Settlement and city. And we know that those are places that people live. So a colony must be a place where people live also. Now I'd like you to read the second paragraph. Who were the Puritans?
The people that
Founded
found
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Okay. What's a separatist?
They wanted to separate themselves from the church.
Okay, so now knowing what a Puritan is and a separatist, are the Pilgrims, share with your elbow partner, are the Pilgrims Puritans or separatists or both? And how do you know that?
Well, it says here, some Puritans were called separatists.
So that would be
They
both.
would be
Because
both.
it says
Some, yeah.
some were called separatists. Why? Because they separated themselves from the church of England.
That's right, they are both. They can be considered both Puritans and separatists. Okay, reread the first two paragraphs. And I want you to see if you can figure out who founded the Plymouth Colony and how you know that.
Are we sharing with your elbow partner?
Oh,
Sorry, yes, please share with
It
your
looks
elbow
like it says
partner.
right here, Plymouth was
Thank
founded
you,
by the
Genevieve, you're
people
such a
called Puritans.
astute student.
So the Plymouth was founded by the Puritans and it's Plymouth Colony. So the Plymouth Colony was founded by the Puritans.
Okay, why was it founded? Share that with your elbow partner.
Religious groups. So they wanted to practice their own religion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So today, girls, you've learned a little bit about the Plymouth Colony and why the Pilgrims established that colony in the New World.
The lesson that you're about to see is the end of a close reading lesson on the economy out of a social studies text. In this lesson, you will see writing, speaking, and listening, formative assessment, as well as higher order thinking skills to wrap up our close reading lesson.
Okay, ladies, as we finish up our close reading on chapters 8 and 9 in our social studies book, I am going to have you write a summary of what you have read in those two chapters. In that summary, for your writing, I would like you to use all of these words: economy, market, supply, demand, product, and table. In your summary, please underline the words as you use them. So make sure you're using complete sentences. And then it might be one sentence, it might be two sentences, you might write a paragraph, but your goal is to write a summary of what you've learned in these two chapters. Yes?
Do we have to use every word?
Yes, you need to use every word and underline them when you use them. So let's take time and do that now.
My lesson is a second grade science lesson, and we're going to be talking about a dinosaur unit. And you are going to see a pre-reading strategy, which will pull out vocabulary words from the story. After we're finished with that, we will read the story, which you won't see today. But what you will see is the listening and speaking involved before a reading even takes place. Hello, boys and girls, or just girls. Today we're going to start our dinosaur unit, and we're going to look at some words that we're going to find in our story. Our story is called Dinosaur Tracks, and I've listed some words up here that we're going to find. So let's read those words together, and just do the best you can. Paleontologist. Dinosaur. Okay, good job. What I'd like to do before we even open the book, I'd like to do a pre-reading strategy called Connect To, and it's kind of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to look at these words, and we might know the meaning of some of them, and we might not. And then we're going to look over here and see if we can connect a word from list A to a word from list B. And there aren't any right or wrong answers. But I do want you to explain why you linked your two words together. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about first. I'm going to take this word paleontologist, and that's a really big word, but I know just from, I don't know, reading some books that I'm going to look at this part right here, just. And I know that another word that ends like that is geologist. And geologist is some sort of a scientist, I think. So if I'm looking at that, I might think, what would have to do with a scientist? And over here, I saw a movie once, and they were talking about fossils. So I know that fossils have something to do with bones. So I'm going to link paleontologist with fossils, because I think this might be a scientist that might study bones. Okay, let's try to do one together now. Crystal, can you give me a word from list A?
I know the word dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, good.
Because that's the same as the word up on the board.
Right.
Dinosaurs.
Very good. And Janet, can you find something in list B here that you could link dinosaurs to?
I wonder if, I know some dinosaurs had claws, but I think I've heard the word roamed, like they just walked all over the earth too, so maybe roamed.
Okay, is that your choice?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to draw my line then to connect the two. And you said you chose dinosaurs and roamed because you've heard that you think that dinosaurs roamed around. Okay.
They went all over.
Okay, good job. Now we have two more words in each column. And what I'd like for you to do now is, I'd like for you to work with your partner and link those last two words together. And see if you can come up with a good reason why you linked them. And you can go ahead and fill in the ones that we've already.
We have this pray.
I'm not sure what pray means.
Well, I pray in church.
That's what I did too. The trackways.
Trackways. That sounds like highways.
Could you make tracks with your claws?
Yeah.
Okay. Janet, can you tell me how you linked your words?
Well, we linked trackways and claws because sometimes we see tracks, and some animals have claws in them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why.
All right, good. And Crystal, what about the last two words?
We chose pray and heard together because we weren't sure what those words meant, but they were the only ones that were left.
Okay, good job. And what we're gonna do now, before we read, we're gonna look in our story, Trackways, and we're gonna see how the author linked her words together. And we'll see how close we were.